Everyone relax. This is TOFOP. I'm Charlie.
I'm Will Anderson. Hello and thank you for watching.
And thank you, Will, for coming back. It's been a long time. Sometimes we do big gaps on this show and I'm like, is this it? Are we never going to see each other again? It's been so long. And I also had the other concern that, because we don't want to be too topical when we do like our episode before we're going into a big break. And I'm so glad we didn't say, you know what, the world's a great place. Everything's fine. There's going to be no more upheaval until we next speak.
Well, what I have loved is because in essence for the listener, there hasn't really been much of a break. You know, we banked a whole bunch of episodes, so some people have had an awareness that there's been some stuff going on, and that we haven't been around as much as usual, and you've been holding the fort with our like footy podcast. But we kind of, Philosophy and TOFOP, we had banked a lot. But of course, part of the nature of that is we are having the least topical conversations of all time. Like it was weeks into the footy season and we're talking about the Ashes cricket. Like it has been such a weird time shifted period of time. So for listeners of the show, they're kind of going to jump. Like there's going to be a 5 month just jump in what's gone on in our lives and our worlds. And now I wonder how you found us here.
Yeah, I have a list of things. We can play a bit of choose your topic, what you want to talk about. But there was stages. I don't know what you've been like in the last few months, but with everything that's happening in the world, where I was getting so anxious. And thank God I did a live stream on our Patreon, because that was a good way for me to sort of check in with the listeners. Because I would normally air my grievances and my anxieties to you. That is your job. You are my free therapist. But now
I'm not getting paid enough for that job. I've enjoyed the biscuits, but I'm not sure I'm getting paid enough.
But I've employed the listeners. And so it was good because I was sort of just checking in with them and saying, hey, is everyone else feeling like a bit terrified right now about what's going on? And the general consensus, and like, I don't know if this is still the case because I haven't asked the question in a few weeks, but as everyone was very terrified for a good like few weeks there. And then it's funny how quickly you acclimatize to the terror. You're like, this is shit. Shit's gone like haywire and it's bad and everything feels awful right now. And then you just sort of, I don't know, you settle into the muck, don't you? You're like, oh yeah, the muck's not so bad. My body temperature is adjusting to the terrible muck that I'm sitting in.
Well, most of the world lives in muck. Like most of the world, the problem with us is we weren't born in the muck. We have just been lowered into the muck. We
merely adopted the muck?
We've stumbled into the muck.
Yeah.
The muck has arisen around us because we were born into the times and in a place in the world where we didn't have to live in muck, Charlie. Our parents and grandparents had fought for our rights not to be in the muck anymore.
Yeah.
But it turns out that the muck always wins. The muck will always be back.
The muck is back.
Here's what I will say.
Yeah. Give me some hope.
Oh, no.
Okay. Oh, damn it. That's what
no.
I've been holding out for that.
I'm
no?
sorry, man. That was the absolute opposite direction to what I was going to take here. I'm so sorry.
What are you going to suggest?
Obviously, as you know, and like this is something that has affected you as well, so I don't want to just make it about me, but like there's been some real awful personal, world stuff happening. And what happens when something as overwhelming as that is that I took my eye off the world completely. In fact, there was a period of time for a month or so where my world was taken up almost entirely by what was in front of me, know, and not by anything else that was going on in the world. And when you're in the middle of something like that, you think that it's all that is going on in the world. Of course, what actually is the reality is that the world just continues on without you.
Yes.
And I really, at one stage, like this is how out of the loop of, for a guy who, from the day I was at journalism school, had that idea of like you had to read 5 newspapers a day before, you got into class in the morning. You needed to be informed about what was going on in the world. Suddenly I had a reason not to be paying any attention to the world at all. And there's a couple of observations about that. That one is that it goes on without you regardless. And that you fall out of the loop pretty quick if you're not paying attention. I remember at one stage going, why is petrol so expensive? and then doing a little Googling and going, oh, there's a war on. Like in the last, because that's how quickly it can happen.
Yeah.
If you're not paying attention for a fortnight, like a war can start.
But I think this is the thing, this is the trap that I fell into is I was actually thinking that plugging myself into that was going to help me with the anxiety. If I understand what's going on, then maybe I'll be able to think, no, it actually...
It's the opposite.
Because it's so confusing and you don't know what to believe and you don't know, things are changing all the time.
Particularly when we live in a world of infinite information.
Yes.
Good, bad and indifferent.
Yeah.
In that there is never...
We have AI telling us that TOFOP is a podcast with Will Anderson and Charlie Pickering.
Oh, mate. AI will tell you still that I'm 183 centimeters. I did a medical the other day. The doctor's like, we don't need to measure you. Like, your information's here in the previous forms. I'm like, measure me.
Yeah.
I want to know if I am what the internet says I am.
Did I tell you I lost 3 centimeters? Like I went for my general health check and my doctor, she was like, because all right, there's two tracks here. As an actor, you always add a few extra centimeters, you know. I always say I'm like 5'11", 180 centimeters, just to kind of, just to act like I'm a bit taller. I know I'm 178, which is what I told my doctor. And then she said, you're 175. I'm like, that's not true. I'm definitely 178. And she's like, I just measured you. You're 175 centimeters. So either I've been getting it wrong or I'm at that stage of my life where I'm starting to shrink into an old man.
Well, I do think you do get smaller.
You do.
Gravity
Yeah.
affects us all.
Yeah.
Apart from me.
Who's getting longer?
That's weird.
You're elongating.
It turns out my doctor says that gravity doesn't actually apply to me in the same way as it applies to everything else on the planet.
That's right. No, the gravity is dragging you down from your feet end, but there's something else that's extending you from the
anti-gravity is dragging me up.
Antimatter.
I've got a little black hole just above my head, and it's sucking me upwards at the same time. It's actually fixed my hips. I feel amazing. So what I was going to say is when you stop concentrating on the world.
Yeah.
And it's part of the reason that I haven't been able to come back to, I was saying to somebody the other day, I haven't watched any TV shows that I'm really into. I haven't watched a game of football this year. Literally have not watched one game of football this year.
Yeah. Probably for the best. I don't know if you've been keeping up on.
Oh, man, yeah. I mean, there's been some highs and lows. There's been a lot going on. But it's because of nothing. You can't just do anything anymore in the way that we used to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Like it is, can't just watch the game. Then there's the infrastructure around the game or the podcast or the debates or the discussion.
Yeah.
And it's the same with news. You can't just read one article about what's happening in Gaza because then if you click through, there's going to be a hot take on this and another take on this and a person debating this and a person picking apart that thing. And then there's going to be a 3-hour podcast and somebody doing a review of that 3-hour podcast. And as soon as you're in that infrastructure, I think that you lose you end up knowing more, but absolutely less than what you knew in the first place. And I wonder, and this is not me abdicating from you having any responsibility, but here's what I've noticed in the time that I haven't been paying attention to things. No one's missed me. There's not one thing where they've gone, oh, you know what?
That's not true. I've missed you.
But in a practical sense.
All right.
But
no one's missed your contribution to world events.
We feel like we need to be across these things, kind of on this thing that we've been
a lot of listeners have
into
missed you.
us.
A lot of listeners that want to know especially in the footy pod, there's been a lot of people saying, when's Will coming back? I need to know what he thinks of this or that.
But we've been conditioned to the idea that we need to be informed because we are going to be called upon at some stage to have an informed opinion about. My phone has not rung once with anybody going, hey, mate, we're having a lot of trouble in the Middle East. Could you please switch back on? Eyes up, buddy. We need your help.
It is funny because you do, we are in that age of, people jumping on their social media or whatever it is to do a declaration about their views on A, B, or C. And it is that thing of, it makes you feel good, but it doesn't actually affect anything. And it just adds to the kind of noise.
And I'm not sure it does make you feel good. It might make you feel good in the moment.
Yeah.
But does it make you feel good in the grand scheme of Anyway, I'm not saying that I'm going to police how anyone else is interacting. I'm just saying that for a person like me who has lived my entire life, like genuinely, like from the minute I went to university, it was drilled into us information. And, it's kind of a cliche about my career and what I've done is that I was always the person who had the stack of newspapers, we'd get up in the morning, have all the information. That was part of what I did. And yet, when I was forced not to be involved in that,
Yeah.
when I stopped watching television,
Yeah.
when I got last night, because I knew we had a big day today, it's our first day back podcasting. I'll be a bit vulnerable about it and say that I've been worried about like coming back because I don't know if I do feel like I am ready to be back talking yet. And because there's so much I don't feel right. And my world feels like it's really substantially changed so much that I'm still really working that out. And it feels a bit scary to come back. And so last night I was like, what will I do to prepare myself properly for today?
Yeah.
And what I did was I was in the hotel room I was in, I had a bath, and then I just like read a book, an entire book from start to finish, like a 400-page book from start to finish. And it was great. It was such a great book. I actually really recommend it to people. It's a first-time novelist. It's called Fruit Fly.
Yeah.
It's great. It's kind of like a satire of like a writer who adopts a drug addict young gay guy, like not adopts, but like basically tries to steal his story. It's fun. It's a really great like satire of writing and modern trends, and it's a great first-time novel. It's got that real energy of like. Now, some might argue that is no different to me spending 4 hours flicking through
Netflix
social media or Netflix or going online and reading about the news. And I think there's probably valid arguments that is the case. But what I would say is that for me, that is like the world that is me engaging in the world in a way that I feel like I can engage in the world. And that like, I'm like, that's great. I read a book. I felt more calm myself. My brain feels like it got good exercise. I got introduced to a whole new world of thinking about things that I wouldn't normally. And I picked this book because the runner at Gruen, who's like a young woman who's like, I was like, she was reading it and I was like, oh, what's that? And she kind of gave me the spiel and I was like, great. I'm going to read something that I would not pick up in the shop if it was my sort of thing. Loved it.
Yeah.
I wonder if we have been, because we only have so much time and so much intellectual energy to concentrate on anything. Have we not been, is there an argument that one newspaper a day and 1.5 hour of news was the right amount?
And Doctor Who. The goodies and Doctor Who.
I'm not saying we have to go back with everything, but that we've disproportionately like given an amount of our brains and time into thinking that we need to know all this stuff that we don't need to know. And that perhaps isn't giving us the joy that we think that it is giving us.
But I also think too, it's also, yes, there's the conscious decision that I need to be informed and so you'll seek out that. But then there is also the subconscious control or the dopamine hit you get from engaging or being sucked into some kind of debate or conflict or whatever, or pick a side, you're for this or you're against this. And so you don't even realize you're doing it, but you are getting adrenalized because of where do you stand on this issue that you must have an opinion on. And, it's the privilege of, you don't have to think about this and, I don't want to be privileged. I better think about this. And then it's like, well, I can't affect the outcome. I mean, I'm like you in that the last 3 or 4 months have done a lot of interest.
By the way, I would say just on that, the privilege of not thinking about it. I think that can be a con as well. If you are not thinking and you can think about it in forums that are not that forum.
Yes.
That's the caveat I would add.
Yes.
I agree that it is a privilege to not have to think about it at all or to be able to remove these issues or this perspective from your life. That is a privilege, and I'm not advocating for that. I'm just advocating for, is there a better way that we can be thinking about like the issues in the world than the infrastructure that they have set up to kind of...
Because the opposite is the David Brent of it all, like when they were doing the episode of The Office where it's like they're raising money just for laughs or whatever it was. Yeah. And he does that really lame, like, we should put the number for our starving Africans down at the bottom. And it's such a token gesture. Like there's obviously no thought behind it. And that is the feeling you get when you see a lot of this stuff where people are having an opinion. It's like, yeah, but like, is there a better forum for this? If this is something you're very passionate about, does just airing that and putting that out there, that's not serving anything. And I think that the downside of it, because like you, in the last 3 or 4 months, I've just been like, I have to back away from all this kind of stuff. And what I've really been enjoying is like being a dad, and having a lot of time. Gem's been working a lot. She's been away. So it's just been me and Iona. And it's really, this is my world. This is the thing that matters. This is something that I can actually control and have an influence on. And I was listening to this interview with Zach Galifianakis, did Conan O'Brien's podcast. Do you know that he lives on an island off the coast of like Canada? He moved out of Hollywood. He just bought some land on some island, and he's now into farming, and that's what he does. I think he's got a show coming out where he's like, it's how to grow your own vegetables. And I heard him being interviewed, and he was talking about how like I don't think he has a mobile phone. It's one of those kind of things where he either doesn't have a mobile phone or he doesn't have email or anything like that. Obviously, he's in a position where work rolls in and he can just pick and choose.
Yeah.
But he was talking...
I mean, they filmed this documentary.
Yeah, that's right. But this idea that what he was talking about was the satisfaction he gets from growing and eating his own vegetables far outweighs. Like the success that he thought he wanted with getting to the hangover, he thought that was going to solve all his problems, that was going to fix everything. And then he says he gets to this level where you're like, oh, nothing really has changed. I don't have to worry about money anymore. But everything else that he was involving his head or getting competitive about in the world of comedy or showbiz or whatever, he doesn't have to compete in that area anymore because he's proved whatever he thought he had to prove. But so what do I actually enjoy? And what he actually enjoys is the process of gardening. And I did get inspired and like, I'm going to buy some plants and I'm going to learn how to garden. Hasn't worked out that way.
But also it's about finding what your gardening is.
Yes, exactly.
It's not gardening itself, although gardening is like, when I was living at a place where I grew some things myself, like to eat and whatever, it's super like satisfying to be able to grow something.
The plants are winning. Then... We planted passion fruit like last year, and it's taken over the house. Yeah. Like I'm now in a life
passion fruit.
Battle.
Like this is my house.
Yeah, seriously, like
Gemma comes back from overseas, the passion fruit sleeping in the bed.
Yeah, it is. Like, I'm beating it back from the house. Yeah. It's dropping bloody fruit left, right, and center. It's killing my other plants. I'm like, this is a monster. But that idea, we talked about it previously. Where do you remember when I built a gate a couple of years ago? And I was saying to you how that was just my weekend project where didn't even take my phone out. Like I watched some YouTube videos to get prepped, but then I just went out into the garage and I just built this gate. And yeah, there was this kind of sense of like being present and actually having some tactile stimulation, and then a sense of satisfaction when the thing was actually built. And I don't know, I'm not a handyman. Like I have not built my life or career off, being handy, but I do see the actual benefits and the mental health aspects of actually just getting out of my own head and focusing on something that requires, 100% focus that's right in front of you where you are getting that tactile kind of stimulation.
Yeah. I've been cooking. That was the thing.
What has happened to us?
I mean, we're old.
Yes. We're shrinking, or you're getting longer. We're cooking, we're gardening, we're doing woodwork. Where are those young firebrands from 16 years ago?
Oh, but nothing would be sadder if we were the same people.
Would be like Maverick in Top Gun Maverick. We're still wearing the same leather jacket, riding the same motorbike.
I mean, I think that what happens a lot is that you reprioritize this idea of, or at least you have the opportunity to reprioritize this idea of what has society conned me into thinking is what a happy life looks like versus what is it that personally makes me happy. And are the things that personally make me happy things that I could already be doing right now? They're not things that I have to wait until I achieve something or do something. I could just be doing that now. I come back to I think that for me, the cooking thing, I've always liked to cook.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how in this period of time, just learning a few new recipes, cooking some new things, like it's been really important to me and satisfying for me to do something that would be heaps quicker and probably even less expensive for me to buy something.
Yeah.
Because by the time I cook something,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not
And
saving
you've bought
any
too
money.
much stuff. And tell me though, with the cooking, is it also the process of cooking for someone, or are you cooking for yourself? Like, is there?
I mean both, yeah.
Like, is that
I
like?
do
But do
think
you like to
that's-
like set a table and music, and is it a whole thing, or is it just more the actual creation of the food?
I like the process of making the thing.
Yeah.
I also like the eating of the thing. There's a lot about it to like. I like the buying of the ingredients. I like the preparing and cooking of them.
Yeah.
I am definitely I eat as I go. Like, I mean, I consider any day when I'm cooking something that takes 2 or 3 hours to put the ingredients together to really be a progressive degustation for me as I sample all the individual elements.
And will you do like starters, main, dessert, or are you just focusing one meal at a time?
You know what?
Because some people are like, I'm so impressed with people who can do that. Because I like to cook, but I don't class myself as someone who likes to cook because I can cook.
Yeah.
It's much more blue collar for me. But then I'll go around to a friend's place where they have made some like entrees, beautiful main. They've thought about the wine they want to serve with there's a lovely dessert. And I'm like, that's to me is the equivalent of someone like being a maestro, like a musician or something like that. They've just got, they just know what flavors go with here. And I don't have that language. I actually found out I'm a bit colorblind. Have I talked about this before? So I'm not colorblind, but you know what I am? I'm hue blind.
Racist? Are you trying to say racist?
I'm not colorblind. I just see white. And if you're not white, I've got a problem with it.
We've made a pivot in 4 months.
Oh,
We've
man.
both gone in different directions. You're going after Carl Stefanovic's audience.
Yeah, I've got a hungry beast inside me, a curious beast. What's happened to Australia? I was eating my sausage and bread, and I looked at Anthony Albanese, and I'm like, is he lying to us? I mean, what's going on? I mean, is that what we want Australia to be? Now, he's a white nationalist. I'm going to give him half an hour of airtime and not challenge him at all. I'm just got a hungry beast inside me, Will. It's asking questions. No, but what Iona is getting very much into her arts and crafts.
Yes.
And she was always sort of making fun of me because I'd say, hey, you know, because I'll sometimes I'll do it with her and I'll like pass me the pink pen and she'll be like, that's purple. Or I'm like, you know. And so I found an online.
Oh, this idiot kid. Saying the wrong things all the time.
No, I'm the one.
Yeah, well, I understand where this is going.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought at the start you're probably like, she doesn't understand.
No.
what colours are.
No.
You knew
she was.
immediately.
It was
She
her
knew.
going, this idiot dad. Like that's a. So we went online. You can do a colorblind test, and so the first one you do is the colors, but then you go into like its hues, and so what they do is there's like 4 lines of a color gradient. So say it starts in peach and then it ends in blue, and so you've got to line up the different it'll be broken to 7 segments. You've got to line the 7 segments up for the perfect gradient from one color to the next. Couldn't fucking do it. Like I honestly, I can pick the 2 ends of the color, but then in the middle where it starts to kind of where the 2 colors merge, like I would look at it and there'd be 4 colors, 4 hues, and they'd all look the same to me. And it was and Iona was laughing her head off. Like,
really?
There was no kind of sympathy or like some moment of like, my poor father, he's got a disability.
Doesn't see the world in the same colours.
Couldn't wait to tell mum when she got home, Dad doesn't know the difference between peach and orange. And I'm like, this is something that, but it makes so much sense to me now because like often when you get sent scripts, you'll get sent different colored pages depending on what draft it is. And sometimes I would get that wrong. Often when I'm like cleaning, Jem will come out and say, that's not clean. There's still a stain there. And I'm like, I can't see a stain there. It's because I couldn't see, there was a slight shade, like an for oil stains. I can't really see when it's on wood because I don't detect the difference. And so it's like, oh my God, I thought I was going to be getting some kind, like, can I get a special parking spot now? Like, do I get any kind of? Is there any
I mean,
preference
it sounds
given
like they
to?
should revoke your license because you can't tell what colours are.
No, colours. I can tell colours. It's hues.
Hues, yeah.
It's the shades.
Hues.
The hues.
Yeah.
Dave Hughes.
So 50 Shades of Grey would only be
Like one shade. there's black. There's white. I don't see no shades. Again, I've got a hungry beast inside me, Will.
Charlie Clausen is 3 shades of grey.
One shade of grey. There's one.
I was giving you some contrast.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I want to mention this because
Yes.
you have been doing the football podcast.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
not by yourself, but with
A rotating
cast of
co-hosts.
co-hosts, many of whom have their own football podcasts.
Yep.
Which I've loved. It's been a real coming together of the football podcast community.
You should have used cornucopia. Cornucopia of the podcast community would have.
A cornucopia. So a cane cornucopia
Yeah.
of the podcast community.
That has actually been like I've missed you, and the listeners have definitely missed you. We need your input on Two Guys One Cup, but I must admit it has been really, really nice.
It's been great. I've been listening in. I think it sounds fantastic, and I've loved all the guests.
It's really because it's also been this thing too of like I wanted to get on some footy media people, but also just like fans, people that have been on the show before, but also some people that I've never met before, and that's been really, really great. But it's also this thing of the reason we started doing Two Guys One Cup is that we felt like we didn't hear anything like that in the footy media. Now I feel like there's heaps of shows like that, but then it's evolved again. Like now, like people have entire companies literally built around, we do football and comedy. It's like football related comedy. There's 4 or 5 massive media companies. Whereas we're still sort of sitting there like at the starting blocks, like we just want to have like a lighthearted chat about why we like teams, and sometimes we'll watch all their games and sometimes we won't.
Yeah.
And it's great to know
because you were never willing to go, let's get Marvel Stadium so you can try to like break Plugger Lockett's. You know, did you see that? Like
What?
Dan Does Footy he decided he wanted to kick Plugger's record amount of goals
in one go or something. Yeah,
like
right.
without missing a shot.
Okay.
And so then they did like a 24-hour, 48-hour live stream.
No, we just want to talk about footy.
No, I don't have that time, mate.
No. But what
I get a phone call from you. Hey, Will, I'm at Marvel. Bring us Sharon.
Yeah. I mean, but that idea of just sort of sitting in the pocket of like, you know what, it's a friendly, safe space to have an informal chat about football. And every time I've brought the guests on, when I, emailing them or whatever, I'm always like, hey, don't feel like you have to be across. Like if we don't even talk about the results on the weekend, that's completely fine. I just want to, get a gauge of like what you like about football and all that kind of stuff. So it's been great. But yes.
Yeah, you had Rove on.
I had Rove McManus on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And this is going old school for this organisation, for Everyone Relax, aka TOFOP, aka Two Guys One Cup. Did a great chat with Rove, very generous. He was in between stand-up shows. I think he's doing shows in Brisbane.
Yeah. Can I say this about Rove, by the way? I did a gig with him in Orange as a gala. He'd been doing a week of shows in that region with Justin Hamilton, and like absolutely on fire as a stand-up. I saw Rove's show during the comedy festival. Thought it was brilliant, reflecting on his time with Rove Live, if people get an opportunity to go and see that. And he even did a little cameo for Tamsin's show Soap Opera Tonight, which is, I'm going to give it a little plug too, which is the last Monday of every month at the Brunswick Ballroom in Melbourne. It's a monthly soap opera, self-contained episodes, but it's an ongoing story. And then they throw in a guest who's improvises, like who doesn't know what's going on. Dave Thornton was the guest. But there was an avalanche, and the families were like trapped in a ski show, like
in the show. There was an actual avalanche in Brunswick Ballroom,
and so they needed a news reporter to be doing like a television news report, and Rove did it for the show, and it was so funny. He's just in great form at the moment, Rove. So I was so excited that you had him on Two Guys One Cup.
Yeah, so he was in between stand-up shows, I think, in Brisbane. And so when we jumped on, we did the little system check, and the only thing he mentioned to me was, I said to him, "You're coming through loud and clear. Do I sound all right to you?" And he's like, "Oh, you're a bit tinny."
Bit tinny.
And I put that down to, well, he's in like an office in the powerhouse. Like it's probably just the
You said it's
acoustics of the
probably
room.
his fault. I'm sounding tinny, but it's probably his
Probably your
fault, I
tin ear,
reckon.
mate. And then I slam my laptop shut and it's like, oh shit, no episode this week. So we do the episode. Great. Rove is Rove. Funny. Great insights about Freo. I mean, what a season to be talking about the
Brilliant,
Dockers.
right?
Yep. Anyway, he jumps off. He goes to do his next show, and the episode uploads. And so I take a listen to it. Everything sounds great, except my mic has malfunctioned.
Would you describe it as a little tinny?
I would say it sounds like a malfunctioning transformer. It's just like completely distorted. Like I don't know if this is what Rove was hearing, but if he was hearing this, he must have just been super polite. Like he is
very polite.
Yeah. He didn't want to bring it up. Maybe he thought I couldn't afford a real microphone.
Oh, God,
It's
things
like-
have fallen apart for Charlie since Will's not doing the podcast.
I mean, I found it
Who would
unbearable.
have thought Will was holding the technical stuff together?
I found it unbearable to listen to for 5 seconds, realizing something was wrong. The fact that he sat through an hour of listening to that screechy, malfunctioning microphone is a testament to what a pro he is. But then I'm left with a problem because I'm like, oh God, and so I scrolled through the whole episode. Yeah, every time I speak, my mic is just screeching and peaking and stuff. So I check all the backups. No, because it's going through the same system. Everything's fucked. It's a Sunday night. So I text Elise, our producer, and I say, oh, by the way, we have a new producer.
Oh, yeah, we do indeed. Welcome,
Elise, are you there? Have you your
Hi.
mic on? Hi.
Yeah, my mic's on, and there's no robot filter on this one, so we're all good to go.
Well, the good news, Elise, is every producer we've come onto this show has gone on to bigger and better things. So we can't wait to see how you leave us in your dust.
Finally, thank God.
I mean, it's a rocket to stardom,
It is.
honestly.
Can you take us with you, please? Maybe we should ask now. When your success comes, can you take us with you,
Take
please?
us. We don't want to stay here
No,
anymore.
we're stuck in the muck. We're in the muck.
We're the muck.
Get us out of the muck.
We are the muck.
Carl sent me a couple of emails. Do you guys want to come?
Oh, yeah, I've got a hungry beast inside. So I text Elise and I'm
I
like,
like this, by the way. This new Carl Stefanovic character.
my bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I text Elise. I'm like, hey, freaking out a little bit. This hasn't worked. And so Elise is like, well, let me just have a look. And so while she was doing that, I send Rove.
Because these days, there is some
There's backups,
new
there's
technology,
AI that clean it up.
Yeah, there's ways of fixing. We've had to fix problems
100%.
previously, and
There's
it's been able to be.
There's a couple of file safes. So Riverside, we record to, they can record just from the call, so it's not the downloaded file. So if the call was going fine, then you've got that. It's not as high quality, but it's still usable. There's also a backup on the Roadcaster, which I was recording, but these were all fucked. So I ran it through Riverside's AI, which can clean it up. Didn't sound much better. Elise ran it through Pro Tools. Didn't sound much better. So then we're like, well, what are we going to do? And so I texted Rove. I knew he's doing another show, and I was like,
Said, hey, mate, I know I've just tortured
oh
you for an
God,
hour.
it's and I really was wrestling with, do I just? But then it's like, well, what's worse? Like that the episode doesn't come out, I've just wasted his time, or do I? So I bit the bullet and was like, hey, mate, this is a bit awkward, but, that tinny microphone was actually my microphone malfunctioning. We might have to re-record it, just seeing if you're and I didn't hear anything back. I'm like, oh.
Because he had a show.
He had a
right?
show.
Yeah.
But also, like, the show is
And
probably...
also, you just
for the-
tortured him for an hour.
And there's also a couple of hours after that where I still hadn't heard back. I'm like, well, that's silence. I'll
Okay,
take to
yeah.
be no. And so Elise and I were putting our heads together, and I can't remember what solution you came up with first, but what we happened on was, well, when you record, the AI spits out a live transcript. And so I think, Elise, you floated it first, but it was kind of like, this is crazy idea.
The wildest thing to do. Yeah.
But you've got the episode there. You've got a script of it. I mean, you could re-record it. I mean, it'd take you for a long time, and it might suck. And I was like, I'm desperate enough. All right, let's do it. So here's the thing, right? When there's in the film and TV biz, there's this thing called
in the biz.
ADR,
Showbiz.
analog dialogue recording. So when you are recording on a day where
Analog dialogue recording.
is it analog or additional dialogue recording?
I thought it was after dialogue
Oh, I know.
recording.
That's
who
something
knows?
dialogue
I've heard
recording.
ADR all those years. I've never examined what it might.
I thought it was
Dialogue recording makes sense.
Yeah, I thought it was analog, but maybe it's additional. I thought it was additional. Anyway, it's ADR. So I'm very, very used to being in a studio, being handed a script, looking at video of myself, and then trying to repeat the lines in the same tone, pace, when I first did it, so they can capture the performance again.
Okay, yeah.
So,
That's how I do Gruen every week.
well, you don't do the dialogue at
No,
all,
not on the night.
right? You
I
just
just mouth. That's how I can be so quick and funny.
Yeah, right.
I fill it in later. I'm just like a goldfish there on the panel.
Do you think if that was true,
Yeah.
do you think this show, just say we could do it flawlessly, like AI, it maps your mouth and they match the words. Would you think this show would be better if after recording you could go back and insert better jokes flawlessly? Or do you think there's something about being spontaneous in the moment that makes the jokes better?
Oh, interesting.
If you could ADR flawlessly just your lines.
I mean, there's been a few times when I've listened to like a podcast or whatever that I've appeared on for whatever reason and thought, oh, I wish I'd said this here.
You can.
I
That's
wish I'd
easy.
said this
Next
here.
time, tell us. You can do that. There is a function on Riverside that you can go in and it's called redub.
Yeah.
You can just highlight the sentence that you want to change and then you
What
type
if-
in the sentence you
I
want
mean,
to say.
could we load an old episode and then do that to an old episode? Like, is there
Oh, yeah.
a wait? Because like
One of our most problematic episodes. We go
Just
back and we,
redub.
like George Lucas did with Star Wars,
Yeah.
we just fix everything that we don't like.
yeah. I mean, that would be pretty funny.
It's half an hour of dick jokes. We're
Yeah.
just going to make it all about flowers.
Yeah, just like or just like what would be like a debate? Like I mean, there's famously does Superman do a super pitch, right?
Our very
Like-
first episode.
yeah, right. So say we were going to rework that now
Yeah.
through today's eyes and through today's
Yeah.
sensibilities.
Yeah.
What would that conversation be about? It's
I
like,
mean, are we trying? Well, we're old men now,
Yeah.
so piss is a big issue for us.
Yeah.
It's like,
how many times do you think Superman goes to the bathroom? in
and
the
does he get
night?
his prostate
Yeah,
checked?
that's right. Does he have a super prostate?
But I mean, potentially, super
Yeah.
prostate means he could super come as well. From what I
Oh
understand.
no, we're
Oh, I've
back
gone
to what we were.
backwards.
We're back in the muck.
Back in
Oh,
the
it's
muck. We're
got
never
us.
getting out.
I quit one episode.
Oh, no.
Fair enough.
Earliest quit yet. Just got a job offer halfway through.
So I had the script. So what I did is I printed off the transcript.
Yeah.
And then I started, I hit record on Riverside, and I had the recorded but malfunctioning episode on my phone, and I had one earpiece in from my phone. And so I listened back to the episode that
So with the malfunctioning bits in between still.
So yeah, so it was every time I spoke, it would be like, and so, but I could hear enough in the malfunctioning to get an idea of what I was saying, the pace of which I was saying, when I, what intonation I was doing, if I was being funny or sarcastic or whatever. But the one mistake I didn't make is I probably should have read through the entire transcript first, because it's not flawless, the transcript. It's the AI
Oh yeah, of course.
guessing what you're saying. But I didn't want Elise to have to be like cutting it together. So I'm like,
That would also be a fun idea for an episode, which is you like take one of the people out, you do the transcript, and you just re-record what the AI thought the transcript was, and then but leave the other conversation how it is, and just see how much of it
this
still
is
makes
pretty
sense.
much what I did, because I wanted to record it in one chunk so Elise could just line up the timeline. She didn't have to take out all my individual bits.
Oh yeah, so you weren't doing here's the take here, here's
no.
the take here.
I literally just pressed go and just had the transcript. And when Rose
For an hour episode.
for an hour.
Oh my god.
So I locked in. But the problem was, and I'm not sure this. Like, I feel like maybe we're breaking kayfabe here. We're giving people peek behind the curtain. If you've listened to the episode,
No, I think this is great because now people have
you can go back and listen, and I
Yes.
want you and listen carefully, because as I was doing it, sometimes I'll get to parts of the transcript where either the AI was getting it wrong or it was not understanding what I was saying, or sometimes it would confuse Rover and I at my voices. So I'd start like making a point that Rover was making, then quickly have to stop. Or
you're just there going, say hi to your mum for me.
Yeah.
Oh, no, hang on, that's not me.
I just started, or I'd just be making a point that I have no idea what I was trying to say. Like, I can't remember, there's a specific example with something around, St Kilda and Freo being kind of kindred spirits, that they're both kind of loser teams. But I was getting lost in my own metaphor, and I'm doing this on the and I don't know what I'm saying, and so I'm talking around. And so if you listen to it, because I did listen back because I was curious, and it's like this sounds like a guy who's having a panic attack because I'm saying, and St Kilda and Freo are sisters, but brother clubs that they're very similar clubs in the way that they are perceived. And Rove, what do you think about the Freo? So I did that for an hour, went through, and then I was like, so I started kind of just focus on the transcript, and I was like, oh, but it's not going to sound natural if I'm just reading. So you need to throw in some human elements. So then I started deliberately like making mistakes, like chipping over my words, correcting myself. But then the weirdest parts was when Rove was talking, I'd be like, yeah, good point. That kind of stuff, just ad-libbing all these like listening kind of things.
If you could isolate that, please, and then just drop it in, that would be
You make
great.
a joke, but I have actually started a library of Charlie's reactions if this ever happens again. And Will, now I've got you. Maybe I need to start getting some of yours.
I'd just like you to drop in a few more into,
What do you want?
I don't know, just like when
Good point, Will.
Yes.
I don't think so. I think so.
I don't like that. I don't think so.
I don't know. I've a curious beast inside me, Will. What's going on in Australia? When I grew up, it was BMXs and sunny boys and a lot of racism. What's happened to Australia? We've lost the good old days.
Let's bring it back.
Let's bring it back. Go back to good old days when you could go down, get a pack of cigarettes from the milk bar. No one would even blink an eyelid. So I don't.
You re-recorded your entire
re-recorded the whole thing.
And from start to finish, one take.
It was
More
one
or
take.
less.
There was a couple of there was a couple of bits where I'd say to Elise during the recording, "Hey, I'm just going to start that again," and then I'd sort of rush to catch up to it. But it was more or less one take. But it was when I listened back to it, I knew because I knew, but I don't think anyone would be able to tell. I mean, I don't know if is it insulting to Rove that I went back and like pretended to laugh. I mean, I was laughing genuinely the first time he was saying the funny things.
I think this is one of the nicest things you've ever done for anyone. Like the person whose responsibility it was, because you were the one whose microphone didn't work. You're the reason that it went wrong. You're the one who addressed the problem.
You know,
you went and did all that effort, that extra effort, that hard thing to do in order to save the episode. I think it's the ultimate compliment, honestly.
And maybe we can release this at some point, but the video of me doing the ADR exists.
Oh, of course, because you were doing it on Riverside.
That's right. And so that it is, and Elise, you would have seen it, right?
It's something to behold.
Go on, describe it.
I was in the presence of greatness. I was like, this man is a thespian.
Because you got me pretend laughing and nodding along to stuff, to a recording of Rove as if it's happening live.
For 1 hour. It's not 10 minutes. It's more than an hour of tape.
Release the Snyder cut.
Release the Charlie cut.
Release the Charlie cut. I want to see it.
Oh, man. Now, if people are watching this on our Patreon, and you can join our Patreon, there's a link in the show
Join
notes.
the Patreon and you can watch the video of the episodes.
Watch a video of the episodes. Every episode's come out early. They come out ad-free. But you may notice in the studio, Will, I've got a hungry beast inside me.
Hey, I have actually got a hungry beast inside me, and it's hungry for cookies.
It's hungry for cookies.
Because
cookies and biscuits. There's one definite biscuit. We know we can't call that a cookie.
We have laid out the finalists for our Crack That Pack competition.
Yeah, thank you to our listener Amy, who we put the call out to someone if they could tabulate. Is that the word?
Sure.
Put together a spreadsheet of all the biscuits we made and all the tiers. So these are the top ranking 8 biscuits. There was one controversial omission because we could not locate it. The biscuit is not being made anymore, which was the Kingswood Cafe muesli biscuit.
Oh.
Which I don't remember, and I'm shocked.
Been taken out of circulation.
That you and I would rank a muesli biscuit. Like, if you look at all this is just calorie city. It's all chocolate chips and sugar plus.
I'm not sure about that. I actually think that, yes, certainly when you look at our finalists, it turns out we have are kind of like there is a vibe that we like. There's not a lot of like citrus-based cookies, like white
not a fan of
chocolate,
citrus
any of those
biscuits.
sort of things, like birthday cake, any of that. This is very much your chocolate, your oats, your kind of. But I reckon a muesli. I reckon we would have been up.
I do like a breakfast biscuit, but this is the cream of the crop. Well, this is the elite. These are the top cookies / biscuits going around, and the fact that
So how did we come up with this 8 then? What is the?
well, this is these all were A+ ranked cookies.
Okay, all of these cookies we're looking today, we gave an A+ ranking.
Yeah, there was no the only S tier, because remember that was the top one, was awarded by Osher when we had him on as a guest, where he ranked some gluten-free vegan biscuit as S tier. So we're disregarding.
Doesn't
that.
count, Osher. Sorry,
Doesn't count. So from this 8, so we ranked as high as, and we have one
That's like Tony Abbott giving Prince Philip a knighthood.
Doesn't count.
You can do it technically.
No one's going to.
We invited you to do it, but none of us remember that it happened. We're not recognising it.
So we should name our final 8.
Okay.
So we have the
What have we got?
Cookie Factory Oat and Raisin.
How did you get, by the way? Can we talk about that? Because we're in Sydney, and often when we've been recording, it's been in Melbourne. Some of these have come from Melbourne. We should talk about
where they come from.
What's
this
the
is
journey been?
This is Australia. Well,
This
this is
is like
like Australian
Eurovision.
Idol. We need to do a little
Australian Idol,
documentary where we go and meet their family.
We need a backstory.
This guy's a farmer.
Yeah. What's the journey? I want to know the biscuits' journey to the studio.
Do we have time for the journey? All right. Okay.
Right.
So we have. Let's start with the Melbourne. We have 2 representatives from Cookie Factory in Melbourne.
Yeah.
We have the Nutella.
Okay. Yeah.
Nutella filled Cookie Factory, and we have the Oat and Raisin, which I believe was maybe
Oat and Raisin might have
was
been
the first A+.
Yeah.
And that
I still have fond
hot
memories
favourite.
of that.
That's the one I think.
But how did you get that here in Sydney?
Well, no, you can only, the minimum order for delivery is 6. So I had a 6-pack of cookies delivered to me up in the Northern Rivers.
Oh, have you been eating those cookies already?
Oh boy, yeah. My skin, have you seen how bad my skin
You
is?
cracked that back?
As I get another old man thing, my skin reacts terribly when I have too much sugar. So if you can see my face, it's like all red and splotchy because I've been eating cookies for the last 3 days. So we have the Oat and Raisin and the Nutella from Cookie Factory.
Okay.
We've got the spelt vegan dark choc from the Bangalow Bakery, which is
Purchased
another, which is purchased yesterday. That's probably the freshest of the bunch.
Okay, fresh.
We've got your
comeback
cookie,
cookie.
which is so dirty.
Northcote Bakery. I really like it, but I did get it on Sunday. That's 4 days ago. Like it's been in a little.
Sometimes they let some foods age and they get better.
Like a cheese or wine. I'm not sure.
Like stuff that's got mold in it.
Not normally something someone says about a biscuit. But
well, these are all the freshies, right?
You know how everything always advertises itself as not freshly baked cookies because everybody knows.
Everybody loves a 4-day-old cookie. I mean, that's controversial. Like what cafe is that from in Northcote?
Northcote Bakery.
I mean, do you think that they'll be like, hey, dude, like we appreciate the publicity, but you gave us like
Northcote Bakehouse, I think actually.
Northcote Bakehouse. Yeah. I mean, they might not feel that this is, if you've got a cookie that's 1 day old and a cookie that's 4 days old. But imagine if this
Northcote Bake Shop.
Imagine if this one beats the Bangalow Bakery. And it's 4 days old. That means that's the real deal.
I mean, that Bangalow Bakery is going to be hard to beat.
It's an underdog. Okay.
All right.
That's our fresh bakery biggies.
Yes.
Then we have the Illawarra Anzac biscuit, which is extra crispy, which we both liked.
Yep.
We've got the Nutella Classic,
Yes.
from Nutella itself,
Yep.
biscuits, which we were a fan of. We've got the Biscoff,
Original.
which I have pronounced correctly for the first time ever, and not called Bischoff.
Bischoff.
Can I also say, when the Cookie Factory sent me their 6-pack, they also sent me a couple of extras just for to say thank you. And they sent me a banana cookie with some Biscoff spread, and they said, hey, put this spread on the banana. Have you had Biscoff spread?
Yes.
It's fucking unbelievable.
I like this.
It is so good.
I love this thing where Charlie's like gets onto things that have been
10
out
years
for
old.
like 4
Have you
years.
guys seen Razor scooters? They're so easy to pack up, and you can get around the town real easy. Oh my God, the Biscoff spread. So
you can just get a jar of that and have it in your fridge.
that's
at
what I'm
home.
going to get, because
Eat it
what
straight
I
from the
worked
jar.
out the other night was you take a rice cracker and you dip it in the Biscoff. It's fucking amazing.
Healthy because it's a rice cracker.
Makes everything better. Last controversial,
Yeah, this
rounding
is
out
controversial.
the final 8 is we had a Hobnobs digestive.
Yes.
As
You rated high.
I rated it as an A plus,
Yeah.
and you were not a fan of it. And I said to you, if you get it chocolate covered, I think I can talk you around. So I've brought in a chocolate covered digestive because I think maybe that'll change your opinion of the digestive.
So that's our kind of wild card entry.
That's a
I
wild
feel
card
like.
entry. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So Adam
right.
Spencer, friend of the show, he was very much into this idea, and so he created us a bracket system of how we're going to play off these biscuits against each other. Now you've come up with a system that you want to.
No, I think the bracket system is the system that Adams suggested, isn't it?
Yeah, but didn't you have? Okay, well,
So basically, it's a head-to-head system, isn't it?
Okay, here we go. So this is from
Because we've got 8 biscuits / cookies.
Yeah, he said there's 8 biscuits that scored an A plus from you both. Perfect for a quarterfinals knockout.
Perfect.
And your audience can play it as a bracket. This involves picking every winner all the way through to the super biscuit.
Oh, yeah, great. That's fun.
Okay, so we're getting some Spencer territory now.
Good.
So there are 8, which equals 40,320 possible brackets. So anyone who guesses it all correctly would be a superstar.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. If they want to give a reason why they think a certain biscuit will win a certain round, like, for instance, Will is a lock the biscuit off of a spelt chocolate chip that they can. He says, I will keep track of entries
Okay, great.
and let you know how many people predicted each win.
Yes.
Cheers. Okay. So he's saying the top seed is the oat and raisin from the cookie factory.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
And then we have the challenges, which we've gone through. So he's saying round 1, match 1 is an oat off, where the cookie factory oat and raisin versus the Illawarra Anzac biscuit. So that's what we're going to do.
So that's what we're going to do as our first. And so basically the idea is we've got 4 episodes that we're recording today. We have 8 biscuits.
Yeah.
We're going head to head
Yep.
in each of those 8 biscuits. At the end of today's recording, we'll have 4 biscuits still standing.
Yeah.
That's what today's about. But what we're going to allow people to do is try to pick, but you've got to pick it like now.
Yeah.
Can you pick all 4 that win this week?
Yeah.
And then how are we going to go head to head?
You said you knew
We'll work
it.
it out as we go. That's fine.
Okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right. So should we start with, we'll go with the first one, which is the oat round. This is the Illawarra. By the
now,
way.
we're going to play the song, right?
Oh, yeah. It's been so long.
Crack that pack.
Crack that pack. The funny story about these Illawarra biscuits.
Yeah.
Quite hard to track down.
What?
Yesterday, quite panicky. I'm running
Yeah.
around. Elise and I are on the hotline to each other. And she says, oh, there's a place in Byron Bay that has them.
Yeah.
This is via text. And so I called the place. I'm like, hey, yeah, there. And the guy goes and checks. He comes back and says, yeah, cool. And then Elise goes, hey, I just spoke to the guy at the same place. He's like, you're the second person who's called asking about Anzacs in the last minute. All right.
Okay.
Do you want to, should we just halve this one?
Yeah, let's have that one.
This is my body.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, you go first. Charlie is now, I can hear the crunch. He turned away from the microphone, but there was just so much crunch. Like if you were making
Crunchier than I remember.
if you were making an advertisement about these biscuits and you needed that perfect ASMR crunch, that's what you got there.
Yeah, crunchy. You know what I realized why I like this biscuit? It's exactly how my mum used to make Anzac biscuits.
yeah.
It's just like my mama used to make.
Did you call her your mama?
I mean, your mama.
Your mama, yo mama.
Biscuits just like Nonna used to make. My mama. I guess the Anzacs technically were at war against the Italians, so I probably shouldn't say Anzacs just like my mama used to make. But yes, that's a good biscuit. It's weird that we ranked it so highly. I think we must have been in a good mood because I do sort of feel like I've had other Anzacs that are almost as good as that one. Will has wheeled himself to the other side of the studio and I can still hear that biscuit cracking. It's so crunchy.
I went back so far,
It was so loud.
but it is so loud.
All right.
What I am going to say is, I think this is a testament to how good the Anzac biscuit is.
Yeah, it was bloody Australian fighting biscuit, mate.
It is.
What happened
Like
to
you
Anzac
said, there's
biscuits?
other biscuits. I've got a hungry beast this
One's
time,
like
mate.
me.
And it needs Anzac biscuits. Because I think that I agree with you, which is, has there been like, have I tasted better Anzac biscuits than that in my life? Absolutely. But is that a good example of an Anzac biscuit? Absolutely.
Yes,
it is,
I think
yes.
it nails what it does very well.
Yeah.
In the same way that Harrison Ford does Harrison Ford very
Yeah.
well. Like Gary Oldman can play
Yeah.
anything, but Harrison Ford plays Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
very
and
well.
this Anzac biscuit is not going anywhere near these like modern day too soft,
Too soft, mate.
soft these modern day
What's
biscuits.
happened to biscuits today? All right, here we go.
Okay,
This is the oat and raisin cookie
Charlie's
cracker.
going for the oat and raisin. Now it's a few days old. It's been shipped. It wasn't like the way that we originally consumed it, but
That's
much
still
softer biscuit.
And I didn't even. That's that is a. That's a good biscuit. I don't even think the days because I would have. I mean, I'm assuming this would probably be a 4-day from the time I ordered it to when it arrived. And it's crunchy on the outside, it's soft on the inside. They've just got the perfect balance of cinnamon and butter. I mean, I think you know where I'm going in my knockout round. Oh, but he's deep in thought. What happens if we can't agree? Does Elise become you're not gluten-free, are you? Can you be a deciding vote if we need it?
I would love to be a deciding vote if you
Okay.
need it.
We won't need a deciding vote on this one, though.
Okay.
I mean, this is just a great biscuit.
It's amazing. It's amazing, isn't it? Like, I just put it, like, as soon as I bit it, it was like
No.
coming home.
The reason that I was like,
It made me hate my mother. It's so good.
like,
I
Mum,
just said this reminded me of
why
my
couldn't you
mum.
make biscuits?
Fuck you, mum. I just had an oat and raisin biscuit from the cookie factory.
I think it's tough for the Anzac biscuit to
Yeah,
come
mate.
up
It's a
against.
biggest biscuit.
It's tough for the Anzac biscuit.
There it was. You thought World War One was bad. Wait till you get to the crack that pack finals.
It's been thrown onto a beach against uphill against an opposition that it could never match.
Outgunned.
It's not its fault.
No.
It's you know what?
It's Adam Spencer's fault.
It would be able to take on many of these other biscuits on the table. I would trust that Anzac biscuit head to head.
You put
against
your
many
life
of
in
the
that
other-
biscuit's hands and ask him to put his life in yours.
Not if he was going up against this oat and raisin one. I wouldn't.
I'm defecting. Yeah, that is that's a great biscuit.
I'm dead.
Okay, so we're happy to say that oat and raisin
Yeah.
advances to the next round.
It's the number one seed. Probably would have been controversial if the number one seed was knocked out in the first round. But yeah.
That's exciting. That's a comprehensive victory.
That was a good game, though.
yeah.
Like a good opening round.
Yeah.
I felt like two
Yeah.
good competitors.
It was like Anzac came out, kicked a couple
Yeah.
goals first. You're
You're
like, oh, maybe
yeah,
they're
I
on
reckon
today.
Anzac's in this.
And
I
then
remember this being pretty good.
Oat and raisin has
Yeah.
gears. That's a difference,
But
right?
you know, the thing about oat and raisin, there was some question marks over the travel. Does it travel well? Like,
4-day break.
It's good fresh. Like, is it going to be able to get up for the final? But
Oh, mate, yeah, that's a strong biscuit. So, are we sampling the rest in this episode, or are we? This is over the next 4.
just over the next.
Like, I don't understand the system.
You really don't.
No, I
do
don't.
you?
Pretty
I get-
straightforward. I'm a bit
mean,
baffled
no,
I get-
by
it
how hard
Feels
this is
like
for
it's a
you.
straightforward system.
I asked you
but-
3 times if you could like take control of this. So just
So now we have a winner from this episode. It is the oat and raisin biscuit. The oat and raisin will be going up against, because we have to decide on the head-to-heads, the
Right.
winner of week 2.
week 2.
So the winner of week 2
next
will go up against
next
oat and
week
raisin.
will be it'll be Biscoff. It's the Battle of the BBs.
Yeah.
Biscoff biscuit taking on Bangalow Bread
Okay.
Co.
Okay.
So that's the spelt the vegan cookie taking on the Biscoff. Talk about completely
These
different
are
styles.
good finals, though.
A mass-produced, highly sugared packet biscuit versus a vegan spelt like this is kind of progressive biscuit versus old establishment biscuit.
Yeah, I think this is great. Lot to like about this competition. So for people going forward when we're doing the rankings,
Yeah.
the way that it'll work is first final versus second final, third final versus fourth final, and then the winner of each of those will play each other in the
grand final
Yeah.
in episode 4. Okay, that's
For
great.
the sake of working out a system, considering you looked at me so desperately and
I-
said, do we taste them all now? How does this work?
I don't know what's going on. We did mention the Patreon before. If you want to sign up, there is a link in the show notes. I've been doing a live stream, 2 live streams a week. Thursday night for 2 Guys, 1 Cup, I'll do a teams and tips, which has been great. People come on. We look at the team sheets. We talk about who's playing each other. I give some vague tips. It's a real fun time. And then Friday, I do the Friday live stream. which has been great because I've been banking episodes of Opposites with some very special guests.
Right.
But the Friday live stream has been like my beta testing where I test out some Opposites on the listeners, and I've been getting some very strong reactions.
Oh, good. Yeah, great.
Very strong reactions. One other thing I'd like to say to people is I know that when we've been saying to you in the past, when you want to send us an email to go to the website, it's a freaking nightmare. I'm going to retool the whole website.
Okay.
We're going to put a link in the show notes. It's emailtofop@gmail.com. That's the best way to contact us from now on. So if you want to get in touch with us, if you want to send us your predictions, oh, no, you can't because we're doing it all in one sitting. Forget about it.
What do you mean?
We'll crack that pack, I was going to say, if you want to tell us.
Yeah. But well, I mean, we won't be able to read.
We
them,
won't be able to read them.
But the whole point is that we want the predictions.
Yeah.
So that people can see if like they've got the.
Yeah.
So
we want your
you-
predictions, but not emailed.
Oh yeah. How are we getting the
Check
predictions?
them on
then?
the Everyone
Socials.
Relax social media. We're going to make some graphics. We're going
Okay.
to whack them up and you can
She's so
vote
good.
there.
She's going to be gone
There
soon.
you
They're
go.
going to call up to
She's
the
being
high
recruited
office.
right now.
Yeah,
Hamish
exactly.
and Andy, you're on the phone.
All right. That is TOFOP for this week. I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson.